Welcome to another Aftermath podcast. This is Aftermath After Hours. And today we're joined with Calvin, of course, my co-host with the most. And we're joined with the ladies of Renzo Gracie Clarksville.
Hi.
Ladies, introduce yourselves and say a little bit about what you're doing tonight.
My name is Madison Harper. I am a blue belt at Renzo Gracie, and I still get my butt kicked, so I don't think I'm the one to talk about that.
Good job.
My name is Chloe Marvin. I'm a blue belt. I'm a new blue belt, so I'm learning. It's still a journey.
I'm Emilia Finley. I'm also a blue belt. Been here about 6 years and still get whooped a lot.
My name is Latoya Ewert. I'm a white belt, 6 months, and I have a beginner's mind.
My name is Duvien Garcia. Been around BJJ for quite a while. I'm a blue belt here at Renzo Gracie.
All right, that's awesome. So, the reason I wanted to have you ladies here is our last, 4 or 5 podcasts has been very male heavy. So there are ladies who do Jiu-Jitsu. There are ladies here to do Jiu-Jitsu. We actually have a pretty good women's team when they show up on a consistent basis. But I wanted to get a chance to have you ladies at the table so you can talk about some of your experiences with Jiu-Jitsu. So one of the things I would like to say is everyone kind of tell me what brought you to BJJ. How did you end up here? And we're going to start with Duvien.
Okay. So I've kind of always been on the mats. My parents owned a judo club back in New Mexico when I was a kid. They're both black belts. So I kind of started on the mats. Later on in life, like in high school, I wrestled. After that, I kind of lost touch with going into all of that and ended up getting married, coming out here to Clarksville. My ex kind of introduced me to Jiu-Jitsu at SSF Submission Academy, and just was like trained off
now
and
known
on.
as Wild Side.
What?
Said now known as Wild Side. Shout out Wild Side.
Yep, Wild Side. Yep. So, I didn't really get back into Jiu-Jitsu until about 2 years ago, like seriously into it, and I've just been enjoying it ever since.
Awesome.
Latoya again. What brought me here? So what had happened was, but in all seriousness, my son used to wrestle. My husband used to wrestle. And I remember coming here September 24th of 2022, because I remember that, because I remember it. And I talked to Duvien, and Duvien was like, let me sign you up for this. And initially I was a little hesitant because I'm a big girl, and I'm okay with that. And I didn't know how my older body would do this. And so I think the journey has been an experience of learning that it doesn't matter how old you are, you can start anything and do anything. And I think here it allows you to be present in your own body where it sits and stands. So the journey is continuing on, and I really just have enjoyed it thus far.
Awesome. Miss Emilia.
So my jiu-jitsu journey starts from a place of trauma. I was
It's okay. Take your time.
let's just say the sperm donor of my son decided he could slam me around my house one day. And that was kind of the end of me not being able to defend myself. So I started jiu-jitsu a couple months later. I still have my moments. The women here will tell you that I do still panic on the mats at times, but getting better. Getting better.
Yes, you are. Miss Chloe. Let me clear my throat. No, go ahead.
Can you edit songs?
So my journey started, I went through a bad breakup in December 2021, and I've been training ever since. I needed a hobby. The relationship was real toxic. It was just, very codependent relationship. I started jiu-jitsu to start a hobby for myself and have something to do. And I started it, and I loved it, and I've been here ever since.
Now, who brought you here?
Michelin Villalobos.
Shout out to boy.
Go.
Shout out to him, even though he don't train like that. You know, talk all smack. But,
Even though
it's all good. It's
He's
all
whack.
good. He's whack. I choked him out a couple days ago.
Yo, Mitch, you going out like that, Mitch?
Shots fired early in the
Yeah.
podcast. Last but surely not least, Miss Madison Harper.
Surely not least, he says. So to be honest, I never really actually wanted to do jiu-jitsu or anything. There were a couple of situations in my life to where I had tried it, and people take advantage when you're nice and you're things like that. So I got my ass kicked a little bit. But other than that, I do it now because it makes me feel strong. I don't have to worry about like not being able to defend myself or any variation like that. It's all for me now. It's more of like a mental thing. If I'm feeling bad, I come in here, I hang out with you guys, and then I get my ass kicked and I feel better. As weird as that sounds. It's kind of like, you go from getting your butt kicked in a certain way, and now you get it kicked in a different way. But it's a good way.
In an acceptable way.
Yeah,
right?
acceptable.
I let it happen.
I control the levels of my butt getting kicked.
I get to choose who kicks my butt that day. That's what it is.
So, the reason I like to ask, of course, various women, various backgrounds, all roads led you to jiu-jitsu.
They did.
What has jiu-jitsu given you? And what would you say to other women that are listening that they could get from jiu-jitsu?
There. Well,
So I feel like I think the one most important thing it's given to me is a feeling of experience of being powerful. Because there's lots of times in your life you don't feel powerful, and you don't feel powerful within yourself or your spirit or your body, and it gives you it's like going through the elevator of like different experiences of feeling powerful. And I also say it's given me something else, a feeling of love and care for my body. Because in the world, it says the world dictates how your body should be, what you should look like, how you should approach people, and you feel differently. Like my body right now is a bad bitch body.
Say that again.
And she I do all the things, and I feel powerful. I've gained more love for myself in doing this, because you need all the things that's attached to your body to be able to do this. So that's me, Latoya.
Nice. Yeah, you can go.
So, I feel like jiu-jitsu has it's been a whole journey, but it's given me confidence. It's allowed me to find myself and love myself, and just now I don't care what others really think about me. You just take it or leave it. Like, no, I'm not for everybody. You don't have to like me. I love me.
Yes.
And I just love the confidence. I love that I know my self-worth. I know, like, when I go to the store and stuff, I don't I'm not afraid to go anywhere by myself anymore. Like, I'm confident enough to go by myself. I have, I walk like, I'm that bitch. I guess, like, I don't know how else to put it.
Own it.
And then,
She's that bitch.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad that my mom or my grandmother or my aunt did not know jiu-jitsu. Because they whatever they knew was good enough.
yeah.
Because that's definitely something that, I mean,
I'm in a whole different.
I don't know. I'm gonna let y'all finish.
And I will say, like, ever since I've been training, I'm not as confrontational. Whereas before I was training, I was all with the, I'm 31. I just was still with the, rah this, rah that, get in people's faces and talk smack. I don't even do that no more. Like, if you want to do that, that's on you. I don't do that no more. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
Next.
I'll go. I can agree with that one, by the
Yes,
way.
facts.
And nobody tell me nothing. Just kidding, because everybody in here still beats my butt. So don't let me fool you. What was the question? We were going basis off of, like,
What has jiu-jitsu brought you?
Friends, family, mental sanity.
That too.
I'm alive. So fun fact, little thing about you guys that y'all didn't know is right before I had started training with Andrew and with you guys, I didn't want to be here. It's been like that since I was about 16. Can't really get rid of the feeling, no matter how hard I try. Even when I'm happy, still there. But I don't think about it as much anymore. So when I'm here, it's distracting. Everything else hurts. My soul doesn't hurt when I'm here. My body hurts. That type of thing.
Yes.
My mentality is better. I'm happier. I talk more and things like that. So I guess in a sense, it just kept me here.
Same.
All right, now. Anybody else?
I will say jiu-jitsu gave me my power back, especially having a small child at home. And starting bringing him here at 6 months old, it made me realize when he actually started getting on the mats at 5 is how much he had been watching. So that made me feel really good as both a woman and as a mother, is that I realized, hey, he's watching and I no longer am as weak as I once was. Shout out to James here.
Yeah.
James was also there when I came in 3 months after my assault. So he has watched me go from the white belt that straight up punched the girl in the face because she guillotine choked me my first week of jiu-jitsu to where I can actually... Heather will tell you the same story. It wasn't fine.
I thought I was bad.
I feel like I need to hear this story, though.
So yeah, it was not my proudest of moments, but the instructor at the time knew I had done some jiu-jitsu in the past, but did not know the trauma history.
Right.
So when I straight up hit her, he was like, what happened there? But no, this man has seen me go from that scared white belt that couldn't stand anybody being anywhere near this area to now being able to tolerate it until the end of a fight. And I will take that as a win.
And she's a badass. She competes
So-
and gets gold medals. Yeah.
So, one, thank you, ladies, for sharing. It's a lot of information I didn't know. But I can honestly say that every lady here I enjoy pouring into, I love being around, and I'm very, very happy that you're here. All right? I always tell you the most important people are the ones that are in the room that day, right? So I'm always glad to share the room with you ladies every day, okay? The other thing is I love how humble you guys are being. So for my listeners who don't know, there are several gold medals amassed at this table that these ladies have earned, not given.
Yes, they have.
Earned. They will earn more. All right? As Ms. Toya said, I'm surrounded by some bad bitches. All right? And I normally don't say that.
And we aren't young.
But
just to
I
toss
truly
that
say
out
that.
there.
Now,
I am, but
You know what?
let's tap on that. Hey, let's tap on that. Ages. Go.
I will be 28 in April.
I'll be 32 in November.
I just turned 36.
48.
I recently turned 35.
All right. So once again, this isn't a sport where you have to be young to get into it. You don't have to be in super shape to get into it. You can start this where you're at. I started when I was 42 and about 220 pounds. All right? So jiu-jitsu will meet you where you're at. Okay? Now, I have to say this because Mike has given me the eye. I have all this stuff on the table. If you are in the Clarksville, Montgomery County area and you're looking for a place to train, we'll give you 3 free. You can come and train with these beautiful young ladies.
You can see us at
train
the
with
front
these
desk.
2
I'm
hard-headed
here all
men.
the way now.
All right, you can come in and get your first 3 for free. If you're in this area, come in and get it. Renzo Gracie Clarksville. All right, so I did my first plug. I have to always remember to do that.
But check this out. You know what I want to say about the ladies doing jiu-jitsu is, although jiu-jitsu is a very old, I guess, style, tradition, sport, whatever you want to call it, for the ladies, it's not that old. See, because the first ladies weren't allowed to compete till 85.
Yeah.
The first black belt female wasn't until 1990.
Right?
So it's for you guys. When I say that, because to say that you guys are really badasses, and there's still room at the top for your name to be known, because there's still, although the sport is old, for the females, it's not that old. Like the first female to open the school was the same female that got her the first to get a black belt. And she trickled down to the first female to actually issue a black belt to a female. So it's something that you guys can do that for the men, it's a little more difficult because at the top we got, you can throw a rock and hit 100 guys that'll just do all that crazy shit. It's just it's not as. I'm not saying it's easy for you because it ain't gonna be easy. I'm just saying for every 15 guys we got to go through to try to even get somebody to notice us, you've only got 5 ladies that are in your way. So for a woman to come into this and really buckle down and put what she's gonna get into it, there's still room up there. There's still room.
Yeah, to touch on that too is, so I mentioned that I had wrestled in high school. It was really uncommon, especially in New Mexico. New Mexico is not really known for wrestling or anything like that. There was very, very few women or girls that wrestled in high school. So most of my time in high school was competing on the men's team or the boys' team. I, at one point, was the only girl on the team. And so, like, going through sports like this, it's awesome what we see now in women's wrestling. They have their own teams now. I think it's so awesome. I have a younger cousin who is in college and doing wrestling in college, which I think is incredible because, when it was time for me to go to college or anything like that, they really didn't have anything sports-wise like wrestling for women. So, that's awesome where everything is going. Sports are opening up and they're seeing that women can do these sports, and it's great.
I have to touch on that because if I don't, I'll have to fight and choke her to death. My daughter Jada, shout out baby girl, love you so much.
Yep.
Wrestled throughout high school. Always made it to state. Now she does jiu-jitsu. Went to college, took a hiatus. Now she's back into jiu-jitsu and she's training. And I tell people this, she was already confident, but wrestling changed her whole outlook, and her confidence went through the roof. She feels like she's a world beater. And then from that, got into jiu-jitsu, and it just continued to manifest. All right, so I know your daughter trains. Marlo, you might as well claim her trains. I know your son trains. All right, so once again, we talked about what we gave you. Now, ladies, what do you plan to give back to jiu-jitsu?
The women's program.
Boom.
So, you all don't know it, but I'm working hard to increase the women's program here. I guess Emilia and I would be considered to be the senior blue belts here at Renzo Gracie. We've been around quite a while. Wanting to expand our women's program is really important. I want to empower these women to be able to do the things that we do and to feel the confidence that we have. Like, all of us sharing our stories and how it's helped us. I want other women to be able to feel that, because a lot of women don't look at jiu-jitsu and they see, oh, men do it, it's sweaty, it's personal, everybody's just grabbing each other, There's other words you could throw around, but I'm not going to say it. But, the self-confidence that you feel when you can handle yourself or handle somebody attacking you or just being on the mats and being able to hold your own with a 200-pound guy is awesome. And I wish I could spread that more to other women because it is really empowering. Yep.
Anybody else got a comment on that?
I'm trying to figure out who handles the 200-pound man because I know that shit ain't me.
That is not true, man.
No, ma'am. You should have said she was beating my ass in class today. It doesn't even have to be the men.
But she's not a 200-pound
man. Yeah.
It'd be your own people.
Everybody can get the smoke.
It actually beat everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody can get it. Everybody.
Maddie's being humble.
Yes.
Tell the women
This young lady gets those legs around you. Trust me, you're either getting triangled, you're getting armbarred, or she's just gonna squeeze your ribs
ridiculous
into paste. All right.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Octavia showed me that body triangle, bro, and it's game over.
I got a question.
Game over.
Check
Really,
this out.
Octavius? Really?
You guys,
Thank you, Octavius.
You guys all had a
Thanks.
common
Thanks.
thing where you were in abusive relationships, stuff like that. Do you feel that another combat sport would have gave you the same confidence as jiu-jitsu, or is it because when men do stupid shit, the most thing they want to do is grab you. So you feel jiu-jitsu is better for you.
I'm not a striker by nature. I really don't like being struck or striking anybody. So jiu-jitsu actually was the best of 3 different worlds, which is your wrestling, your judo, and your jiu-jitsu combined into one. Besides the fact, if a man's going to punch me, I am most likely going to get in closer rather than farther away, just because the closer I am, it's just like a horse. If a horse kicks you, the closer you are to the horse, the less it hurts. The more in range of that horse you are, the more it hurts. So it's the same idea with the same principle. The closer you are, the less it hurts.
Exactly.
And I will say that, I mean, I've had different experiences, but I think what it gives you, like what you said, the being close, it gives you it makes you comfortable in being close to someone, where you can grapple them, and to where you feel like you possess the strength to be able to not like what James, you said one day, people that don't know how to fight will get up in your face and be like,
I'm gonna grab a collar tie.
Yes.
Exactly.
But it's more like you feel, I think the sport gives you the ability to do all those 3 things, the UFC of it all, even though we're not doing straight up UFC things, but a feeling of internal strength to be able to grab someone, to feel comfortable if someone comes to you. And I think this sport is so multi-layered and multifaceted. If you watch just wrestling, it encompasses all those things that you need to not only just to defend yourself, but to facilitate a strength that you didn't know you had. So I don't know. Those are my words.
It's where you're the jack of all trades,
All right.
but masters of none.
So I guess to kind of go off of what she was saying with like the whole being close and strength thing. So never have I hit somebody and felt strong. Like obviously they went down because if you hit somebody, they're going to go down. People don't like being hit. I don't want to be hit. So combat sports in that variation, not my thing. RJ tries to get me to do boxing all the time, and I'm like, my money maker, bro. I can't. That's all I got. But no, there's a different sense of the feeling you have when you're, like I was saying, rolling with 200 plus men, and they're like, "Damn, you're strong," and you're like,
What?
"You're a big man."
Yeah,
but
like, you
I'm
don't-
strong.
yeah,
Like
you don't feel it.
it's empowering.
Yeah.
So like they were saying, like the whole legs thing. The main thing that I started with jiu-jitsu was my guard work. So I do apologize to anybody in my future because that's the one thing y'all ain't getting out of.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Yeah, it's a
Getting your
pain
head out
in
of
the
there either.
freaking
But like
ass.
it's a sense of empowerment, being able to like hold your own.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about them smashing me because I can't get out of my legs.
Exactly. Well, let's be serious and let's break it down for a minute. Learning how to control the space and the distance.
Yep.
Right? So I don't want to get hit, so I don't want to be at the end of a punch.
No.
So if I've
bring
got
it
you in my guard and I break your posture, one, you can't get the leverage you need to hit me hard.
Right.
Secondly, if it's a guy attacking a woman, he wants to be in that position. So we invite him in so that we can then break his arm, choke his neck,
Hold him there while we call
or
911.
sweep him, or just control him until somebody else comes and take him
just
off.
choke his ass out till he passes out, and
Exactly.
then then we get away.
Exactly.
I help James out sometimes with the self-defense classes and stuff, and
I also
it's
will not
basically
hesitate to
you
hammer fist.
you don't fight to fight, you fight to get away. You want to live.
And-
you don't need to fight and beat somebody up. Just
And do
get
you
out.
need to beat them up to have a victory?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Most people get this concept and they forget, and that's why I love having the ladies here. A lot of people think, well, I have to win. No, a win is I get to a safe place, I put you in my guard, I break your posture, and I hold you until this big guy is now huffing and puffing because he's out of breath, and then you get up, do a tactical stand, back out, and leave. And you leave him there out of breath and frustrated. All right? So a lot of things we do talk about, a lot of people think that jiu-jitsu is just about the sport and the medals. It's not. It is ultimately and always self-defense. Always self-defense, right?
Yes.
The biggest thing I teach with my ladies and anybody else is being able to control the space, manage, and control your opponent. I told you my favorite sound in the world is as soon as I hear that, I'm either killing you or I'm going to let you make it again so I can get away from you. All right? And it's the same thing I try to impart to you guys as my students or whatever, is to understand that I don't have to physically beat that person. I can let you beat yourself, right? I can let you work hard, get your heart rate up, get tired, and then separate and leave, okay? And that's the other part that we like to make sure that when we're empowering people, not just women, we do the same thing for children. So when we talk about that, Renzo Gracie, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well as combat sports. So we go over boxing, we teach Muay Thai, we teach wrestling, we teach Judo, we teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But the other thing that we do, and most people don't get, is situational awareness. I want you to understand that if you're out jogging and there's a guy who comes out of nowhere and he's jogging next to you, look and see if there's a car pacing you. Because if that is, that means they're trying to abduct you. And ladies, you don't have to win that fight. What you have to do is win 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You need to be able to fight for 5 minutes. If you can fight for 5 minutes, it'll probably save your life.
Absolutely.
All right?
Give me 5 minutes, I'll fuck you up. Just saying.
So that's why we train. All right? When
Give
people
any of
ask,
these
do we
ladies
train
5
for
minutes?
do we train for medals? No, we train
No.
for life. If someone's trying to take one of these kids or one of these ladies, I know for a fact that if I've done everything I'm supposed to do, and Professor Andrew has done everything he's supposed to do, if Instructor Z has done everything he's supposed to do, if the auxiliary coaches have done everything they're supposed to do, we know that every one of our students will give you a hard 5 minutes. And that hard 5 minutes are going to deter most assailants and is going to allow our kids to come home.
Exactly.
I hate to say, even though it's a testimony, it's not. We've actually had 2 of our kids that were almost abducted, and with the training that they've had, they've been able to fend those people off and go home. Like my morning class, and other people always laugh because I tell them, I'm not training you to win a gold medal. You do. I'm super excited for you. I'm training you to go home. At the end of the day, I want you to win the fight in the parking lot. Grab all the medals you can. I love it. You will share them. We're going to post it up. But I need you to win the fight in the parking lot, on the street, in the bathroom, wherever you are met with opposition. And I'm more than confident that the people sitting at this table can do so. And you heard them talk about how they feel about it. And there's a difference. You guys talked about I'm. So I used to always tell people victim, V-I-C-T-I-M, victor, V-I-C-T-O-R, all right? Most people are victims because they say, I'm weak, I'm scared, I'm passive. Victors go, you can try me or not.
Yeah.
You can pick me up or not.
Yep.
All right, so that's the difference. If you want to know the difference between a mentality, when I tell people it's victim, is that I am or. I'm a victim or I'm not.
Or every time. Respectfully, any man in this gym can try to fight me, and I will still try to fight them back.
Exactly. Exactly.
I know for a fact because I
don't turn down
I do it all the time.
roles or anything like that. You know.
Some flail limbs and shit.
We
but other
do
than
turn
that-
down certain roles.
Yeah.
Those are for different reasons,
Yeah,
though.
for different reasons.
If we
They're
got
not-
people that are smelling a certain way or flailing their limbs or hopping and jumping and
Spazzy
I was
white
waiting.
like that.
I was waiting for that.
Absolutely, I am not rolling with you.
I was
One,
waiting
personal
for it.
hygiene very important.
Yes.
In this
Shower,
sport.
wash your ass.
Trim your
Yes.
nails, wash your hair,
Truth.
wear deodorant, clean your fucking geese, bro. Wash your geese. That is so
It's
important.
coming from the ladies. Like,
so important.
please be clean.
Truth.
This is the part where we be like,
Throw a little
they
stick
talk about
booster
me.
in that
Yeah, like
No, they
you
talk about me.
beads that make
No, they talk about me. So I don't care.
No, but you smell good all the time. But I'm serious.
Yeah, you
like
like
there's been
Chloe.
people like we have to tell the guys to trim their nails. There
Like,
should
you're not
be a
hollering at
thing.
me. You're not
If
getting
our
me in deep
nails-
hair.
That's disgusting.
Our nails
God.
are trimmed.
Get out of
house
there.
nails
There's
should
some
be
guys
trimmed.
that I don't want to roll with. I'm like,
You try to put me in
I'm gonna
deep
sit this
half.
one out of time.
I'm gonna run before anything. I'm gonna stand up and run. Just stand up. I definitely am. I'm not getting in deep half.
PSA.
She will run.
Yeah, PSA, please wash your geese, wash
Wash your
yourselves, clip your fingernails and your toes.
Seriously, there's no
For
way
real.
that the guys should be
deodorant on.
scratching us more than we are scratching you guys. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
I clip my nails purposely.
The,
you know,
the scratch
I like
accidents
having
in
nails.
the gym happen more with
I don't
the
got nails
men
no more.
than they do with the women, and it drives me
Facts.
nuts.
Be
It
clean.
drives me nuts. If
is
you don't
true.
want to trim them, file them. I don't care what you have to do. Bite them off. Don't come in. Go get them with your long ass Freddy Krueger nails, scratching people.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Pet peeves. We've touched on the pet peeves.
Yeah, let's go down that.
Oh,
Let's
down
go down
that road?
Let's go
Okay,
down
that's
that
what you're
rabbit
gonna go.
hole
So-
of pet
Okay.
peeves on the
Showers,
mat.
great. We need them. Anyway.
That is, but all jokes aside, that is exactly why we provide showers.
Yep.
We provide the body wash, the
Yep.
towels, as well as the fingernail and toenail clippers,
Exactly.
as well as
It clearly
emery
says it on the locker.
and emery
It does.
boards.
Oh,
Yeah.
Calvin, I'm so glad you see that.
Nail
bro.
files.
We don't even
Nail
provide
files.
the
Yep.
nail
Maybe
files.
we should just
Fix
be
it.
like, the showers are free.
They are free.
Use them.
They know that. They go in there to change. They can go to the shower.
Some
they
of them don't
shower
go in there to
after
change, though.
class.
Some of them don't go in there to change.
Yeah,
Just
but they're
saying.
not the gross ones that go home and shower, so it's different. Some of those ones are okay.
Hey, look, I
know the
go
ones you're
home and
talking about.
shower. Thank you very much. I like
Did
my home
I
showers.
say you were one of the gross ones?
No, I smell pretty good.
I
I'm
may
just
or
saying.
may not be the one that.
Sometimes you
I
get a
don't
little
know.
funky.
You can Just
I
a
think
little
I'm
bit.
the only person that smells good before and after.
Facts.
Yeah, fact.
Whoa,
True.
easy killer.
No, Calvin. You
Yeah,
and Calvin.
no, yeah,
Wait,
you and
hold-
Calvin.
hold.
Like, I don't know what you all do.
You smell good
You could
before, but
smell me
sometimes
right.
after it's a
After
little
you
funky.
It depends on what gi.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's got a
Funk
funk. Like
afterwards.
Like everybody, like your geese that are older, those ones
Then
smell
yes.
worse than the ones that you
Yeah.
have that are newer.
Yes.
So-
and
oh,
it's the geese,
so-
it's not me.
And the
It's the
geese.
So,
geese.
No,
so here's
it's a
the
little
thing.
bit of
I will
everything.
tell everybody that's listening.
Geese don't get stinky
Rash
by
guards.
themselves.
Rash guards have a shelf life of 6 months. If you've got a rash guard that you've had since you were a white belt and you are a blue, purple, or fucking black belt, get rid of that thing.
Or don't
Because
wear
I'm
it
telling you
when
right
go
now,
home.
it smells bad. All right? I retire rash guards every
Oh,
6
since we're on
months.
the subject,
I don't
if you wear a white gi,
Do some
Bleach
baking
that
soda.
mother.
No.
It's going to be cream
some
color.
real
Soda.
yellow.
you wear a
Vinegar
white
rinse.
gi,
Right in the crack. They
Watch
be
the
Yeah,
booty
you
real
got-
crack.
yellow.
you
Watch
gotta,
the booty
you
crack.
gotta handle
Watch
that.
the booty crack of the
I
geese.
hate white geese.
I'm so
I
glad you
will
said it, 'cause I
not-
was clean.
I will not wear a white
You gotta
geese for that
handle the
exact
street.
reason.
I mean, I'm just saying, you get somebody with a white gi, you try to double stack past them, and then you got that line right there. You like, oh,
Yes.
damn.
Stop wearing the white geese.
Look, when we were doing
Never mind, I just let you out of position, bro.
When we were doing, the omoplata sweep, the omoplata sweep, then he got to swing his booty right over your face, right?
I'm saying.
I was
I got
minding
pink eye
my
at this
business.
point.
That
I got
was
pink
above
eye.
your head. And
Whoop,
you have
whoop,
to
did
just
the
look at
omoplata
it.
sweep. I was being a good partner. Okay, boom, pop. When he got about right here, I just looked over. I was like, I can't let him get the sweep. can't hover that over my face, man. I'm
I
sorry.
know you be lying.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. The devil
I have
is
a
alive.
suggestion.
But I'm just saying,
We got blue geese, we got
Take
black
a
geese,
shower
we got
before
green
you
geese.
come to jujitsu.
Yes, ma'am.
I will say that
And
that's
after.
important,
And
and
after.
take a shower after.
Maybe in between.
But
in
no
That's why
one
I'm late
should
every
tell
day.
you
I
to
don't
take
care.
it
I will
after.
continue to
maybe
be
we should
late.
start having the
But take it after.
Yes,
My
maybe you
suggestion.
should go take your shower. Get away from me.
Maybe
Well,
we
I
should
guess I'm
have,
going to go
like,
through
extra
misting
Febreze.
people with. No.
Am I the
All right.
only one that takes 2 30-minute showers a
Can we
day?
carry like Febreze bottles when people get mad at
Yo,
us? Like,
hey, no. So,
and you smelling like gym socks and underwear, bro.
true story. True story.
Oh, here we go.
Teenage
There was a point in time when there was like 3 dudes who just was like bad.
Oh,
I went, got the free breeze, came out. I was just,
Oh my God.
This is the bar
And then-
days, right? It's the bar days.
and
Okay.
they were like, seriously? I was like, yeah, seriously. I didn't mind
I mean,
because like,
sometimes you can't get the message across.
I'm like, hey,
One
you
thing I
can,
don't
you can
have to
come
worry
at me,
about
bro, but I'm
That.
basically gonna choke you out and then spray you anyway. So it'll be all right.
Could you imagine being in a sport where you're literally, and sorry for people who don't know jiu-jitsu, literally riding on top of these people and you don't shower or you don't keep yourself clean
So,
or your geese
Can
are
you imagine
dirty
being the white
or-
belt on the bottom of this stinky mother? Like that shit is
you.
terrible.
Hey, no.
not
So ladies,
Chilling. I
got in there one
so
time and
here's
was like, oh, get me out of there.
So this used to be a tactic by high level black belt females.
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
We're
You know
not going
what?
to say what it is.
You know exactly what it is. They would do that and get taps.
With the stinky taco?
Don't.
What? I didn't know what to call it. I was trying to be nice.
A fish taco.
There was this
Fish taco.
He said, I think he just meant stink in general.
The stink.
I think you killed Micah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Sorry,
Mom,
Micah, we
hey,
love
Mom,
you.
I didn't.
Micah,
I don't
I'm
really-
I don't want you to
This
have
will
to
either
edit this
be
whole thing.
the most powerful or the most podcast
I
we've ever
didn't
had.
say, Micah.
At this point
I
in time,
want the unedited version, please. please.
Micah don't even know what to
Half
do
his
right.
pocket.
Whatever you do, send me this version because this was great.
I want the unedited version.
That being said, I think
Unedited,
you're right. It's
unedited.
either that or variations of like when you have their head, they're just right
Yeah,
there.
like
or
wrestlers, they
That's
don't
not
wash.
cool,
boob
man.
sweat's not good either. That shit don't
That
smell
is
great.
not cool.
It's just a variation of the mother's milk. You
Yeah.
can just call
Yeah.
it.
Have you been in between?
I'll leave
them
it to
when
your
they're sweating?
imagination to call it
God.
whatever you
Have
want
you?
to.
Guys, please
But-
wear a rash guard.
Does it stink?
But
Just
it's
saying,
that
just
good.
please wear a rash
Not
guard. Like,
as good as your
like
normal
Maddie
smell.
today got
Mother's
mother's
milk.
milk.
Mother's milk me with no rash guard on. Tell me when that man rubbed his sweaty chest on my face. His boob was about in my mouth. He was milking me like a mother, bro. That's why they call it mother's milk. Obviously, if you guys
got
didn't
nursed.
get that. Like,
You got nurses.
literally, he was nursing me, and he looked at me and he
sad I
was
missed
like,
it.
"I'm sorry, I love you."
Gonna do it
Here it goes. And he grabbed my head and
We were at
smashed it in.
IBJJF and that big girl swinging Duvien around.
Oh,
and we were screaming.
was like a
we
rag
was
doll.
like, Mother's milker! Mother's milker! Duvien was like, I can't! I can't!
Okay, I want to say she was super nice. She was super nice, but she a big girl.
She was
and
sweet.
She grabbed me, you know that TikTok. They're like, oh no. Oh no, that's exactly what they're saying. I was like,
And at that moment, Duvien realized
She fucked up.
But yo, I gave her the best
fucked up.
coaching advice ever.
Yeah.
Duvien,
just stand up.
get up.
I was like, frame. I was like, on what?
Where?
On what?
Just push it in.
I was gonna say, when your frames go in, what do you do?
Yes, yes.
You sink into
You
them
got to be there.
sometimes.
I did not. Like, she just grabbed me and
Duvien
went,
was under there like,
Now you know what it's like to fight Clayface.
Yo, look, her hand just came out the side like. Yeah, it was just, he was just arming her.
reminds me of what John said. It was like,
hilarious.
you just see your legs going.
Yeah, she grabbed her and swung.
No, exactly. It reminds me of what Musa
was
said.
like, let me see
Musa says
that
he's got this thing to where he
squat.
thinks it's funny to like plank on the girls when he's rolling because we disappear under him because he's 6'5" and
Everyone
215
disappears up
pounds.
under
Yeah.
Musa.
You're the same size as us.
they
Of
do.
course you do. He doesn't disappear under Musa.
I don't either.
Andrew doesn't disappear under Musa.
Damn!
It took an
Shots
hour.
fired.
Shots fired.
Damn.
Only an hour though? That's
Yeah,
a lot.
that's
That's
an
a lot
hour
good
before
for
that.
That's
me.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
See, you can tell I'm
You know,
loving
I like
today,
rolling
It's
Musa.
guys.
really funny
he
because
just-
like we're shorter than James.
Musa
Me and Maddie are
disrespectful
actually
when he roll.
shorter than James is.
Oh yeah.
But we still give him shit.
I just
Solely
want to
harassing
say
him.
That's all love.
I just want to
All
say
love.
the one thing I love to do, I enjoy doing it, is picking James up and swinging him.
I think the reason why I'm so salty.
I think I just heard the wrap it up music. All right.
I think the reason why, hear me out, and I think the reason why I'm so salty is because Victor did that thing to where I was in Turtle today and he put his arms around my waist. Tell me why all of a sudden he was mat returning, like boom, 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 just throwing me. And Marshall was in the back like, ha, 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 ha. And I was like, I hate it here. I can't stand that.
So no, I think that's a credit to like also like how comfortable we are with the guys here. Shout out to all our guys that train with us that make us feel comfortable.
I used to cry
And-
walking into the gym,
yeah.
and now I haven't cried in months. So
Yeah,
cheers,
exactly.
guys.
Like
She makes us cry.
You go out of your way to make other people cry.
She makes us cry.
Gym might seem like look scary and mean and like huge and like I'm gonna fucking beat your ass type guys.
Oh, we have the
but
sweetest
God,
people.
they
We're
are
the
so
sweetest.
nice.
Everybody
and
here is
sweet.
so nice.
and they care about us. And
Just don't kick them in the
having
balls.
that awesome support from all of these gentlemen that come in and don't actually want to like hurt us, but want us to train and want to support our journey in jiu-jitsu is so awesome.
Yes.
What happens when we get a new guy and they act a little funky towards
I
you?
love
My thing is,
Yeah.
so there
love
was one time that a white belt, I'll talk about the white. So there was one time that a white belt came into class and he was framing. So you can't frame on faces. You can do side faces and like under and
Yeah,
like head stuff,
yeah.
but you can't frame on faces. But he was using mine and Duvien's face to like pull himself up.
Yeah.
That's
And
my
then he
favorite
would start
story.
rolling with James and he would be proper. Like he wouldn't do any of that stuff, and then he'd go back with us, and he was mat returning us and like framing on our faces and
Oh,
like
yeah.
things like that. So James was
was rude
like,
as fuck.
"Okay," and he goes up to him and he showed him what was up, and that's my favorite thing is James, Andrew, Z, Calvin,
Yeah.
Jeff, Oh God, all of the guys here.
Christian, Tank. Well,
Yeah.
Tank is
Jasper.
Marshall,
Jasper.
yes. Jasper
Yeah.
for sure. Like,
Yeah, Jasper's
They were like, come on over here, young man.
Come here, young man. Yeah, that's right.
The
He
most
walks over like he's
friendliest
leaning
husky
Hey,
you will
yeah,
ever
man.
get.
Exactly. But if we go up to anybody and we say something happened, they're gonna double check. And if they're uncomfortable with what happened, they're gonna let you know that they were upset
Yeah.
with it. So that's my
Exactly.
favorite.
You know
You
what
know,
you did to
like
my
Dave,
homegirl over there?
Dave took care of somebody that like was a little bit too rough with one of our younger blue belt. Or no,
love
she's
Dave.
She's a blue belt.
She's a belt.
She's a
Yeah,
blue belt
I
now.
say she's a blue belt. One of the newer white belts who is a bigger guy went in like kind of like was a little bit too rough, and we all know like in the jiu-jitsu community, you're not super rough with the teenagers because she's a teenager. She's 16. She's just got her blue belt. Guy was too rough, so Dave, one of our brown belts, decided to let him know what's up, that you don't be doing that to our girls, and so he kind of took care of it.
Listen,
Which
if
was
it's
nice though,
for
is that the guy
small,
came
y'all.
and called in and was like, hey, did I kind of like, did I step over bounds? He checked. He came back and checked and was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
He got his ass kicked. He was like, wait a minute.
But like he
Humble
got the
yourself.
message, which was great. And it's not like we're like a bullying type of gym or anything, but you learn not to have an ego here, which is great because, your ego is going to fuck you up. Or get you fucked up.
Reminds me of the
I know, 'cause
gentleman.
mine
Sorry,
has.
I just dropped 2 F-bombs. My bad.
I was wondering if you were going to say
Hey, it's cool. It's cool.
At this point, Mike is like, I can't
matter.
keep,
He's
I
like,
can't keep
"Please
up with
end
him
it."
now. So yeah, just
Stop
let it go.
talking, guys.
Just let it go.
I'm
I can't.
I'm just saying, I control my cussing. I cuss a lot.
I did too.
I even bleeped out F-word. I said it in my head, but I bleeped it out. I was like,
I know. I was the one that was like, hey.
It was like on
No
Wednesday,
cussing, guys.
It was
Like, you
like on
can't say
Wednesday
the
when we did
F-bombs
the
and
guard
then-
stuff, and they were like, "Don't close your
F-D,
guard,"
F-F.
and then Christian was the only one to close it, but thought
Yes.
it was going to be me. See, y'all thought I was going to
Sir.
be the one to ruin
You
this,
effed
but it was
up.
actually you.
Yeah.
you did
I
it. You
I
did it. 20
It's
birthdays.
funny. You said effed up, and it's funny because
I did not.
She did that,
Remember-
and
I
she
did
effed
not.
up.
Hey,
You did.
it's always
That's
team
where I find
burpees,
out.
but so don't be throwing
Yeah,
them
team
out there. It's
burpees.
always team
Team
burpees.
burpees.
Don't be
Yeah.
throwing them
That
out.
is true. Stop saying burpees.
No
I didn't
burpees.
say that.
She can
I was
plank
like,
or something.
I didn't say that.
She can play with. I'll play
She
with
can-
her.
she can do a
I
plank.
ain't doing burpees, but I'll play with
She
her.
can plank. She can plank. All right.
One more thing. I got one more thing. So I would invite all the women in Clarksville to come in here. Let me tell you why. Because I piggyback off of Duvien and all the people here. Like, you will feel comfortable. You will feel like, yes, the first few times I was nervous. I was telling my husband, I'm going to get my ass beat real hard, real bad. I don't know if I want to go today. But then I come and I might get my ass beat, but it's okay. Because it's not on purpose. It's a learning experiment. You will be in it's like being embraced in loving arms of, you'll have a few bruises. I'm not going to lie to you.
A few. Oh God.
Maybe a black eye here and there.
Few.
Put our legs up on the table, ladies.
His name.
they could
His
probably
name is
see
Carl.
mine.
Yes.
Just saying.
Watch out for Carl.
Ain't Chloe on the floor roll? No.
Carl is a big,
Not
scary
Carl.
man. He's a sweetheart, but he is scary.
Yes.
Slow roll.
But I
Straight
invite y'all.
joking. Just kidding, Carl. Love you.
I invite y'all, please come in here. You'll have fun and you'll learn like new skills, and like you'll go about when you have to go to the prison Walmart. I don't know if you're gonna mention that over there at the prison Walmart. If you have to go there, you will feel so safe. You will so
104
safe.
Campbell Boulevard. I know exactly what she talking
That's
about.
the worst one, bro. That's why.
You
But they
will
be
feel
having
so
all the stuff
safe.
there.
I feel so safe in there. The
Remember
end.
when that guy got
Sorry, Michael.
trucked?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Y'all did
But
not.
they
So-
be having every
so-
shout out
for
to
you-
Cameraman.
Campbell Boulevard, Walmart.
For you guys who
our
can't see
cameraman.
Mike has died at least 8 times while we've been filming this.
I told him it was going to be
All right,
like
okay,
this.
look,
I
let's
actually
do this.
prepped myself for
I
this
got one
one.
good question.
Asked him what I could say.
Yeah,
What I could
I thought we were trying to.
When did y'all know that you wanted to compete?
Ooh. Okay.
The first time.
Okay, really go first.
So I did not want to compete, was not going to be my thing. I just wanted to do jiu-jitsu, just to do jiu-jitsu. Well, I made the mistake of going and watching Michelin compete. That was all she wrote. So the very next competition as a white belt, I competed, and it's kind of been downhill from there.
Uphill, you've been winning.
Not even
No.
uphill.
It's downhill
I'm gonna
from
go
there.
next. Okay, so
Stop it.
I really wasn't interested in competing. I started off here working here. Actually, I was working behind the desk. Linda and James had hired me. You know, I did a whole interview and everything like that. Because James ain't just gonna hire nobody. Linda ain't just gonna hire nobody. I had to make sure that I belonged in my spot here. But I got here and the guys here, mainly Michelin and Josh, were like, "Hey, you ever gonna get on the mat?"
Let's go.
Yeah, they were like, "You ever gonna get on the mat? You ever gonna get on the mat?" And I was like, "Oh, well, because at the time I was going through a divorce. I was working 2 jobs at the time when I first started here. So I was like, no, well, we'll see, if I have time. Right now I need to be, working. I need to be doing my job." And so James had opened it up that I could train while I was doing my job. So then I started training. And once I started training, I guess they saw what I was doing on the mats and stuff. And they're like, well, when are you going to compete? So Michelin and Josh really got that bug in my ear about possibly competing. And then I think 2001, towards the end of 2001, I did my first competition and I took gold as a white belt. And took gold at black yet.
Hey,
Or
Josh,
not black.
this is your
blue
hint to
belt
come
at blue
back.
belt. But it's in the works. Eventually I'll get there. But they were instrumental in getting me to compete and believing in myself again that I could do something like that. And I think that's again accredited to the guys that we do have here at Renzo Gracie. As much as women see it as a men's sport and everything, they are so supportive of what we want to do. James, Andrew, Michelin, all of our coaches, hey, you're going to compete? I think you should do this, and they're always there in your ear, maybe not just to compete, but to improve, not only in jiu-jitsu, but in life, working towards, bettering yourself throughout everything. And I think that's awesome. And I love it.
Oh, so I knew I wanted to, my bad.
Turn it to you, Chloe.
Whatever. But no, I knew I wanted to compete. I've always been a competitive person. I played sports my whole life. But I knew I wanted to compete, but I was really hesitant of it. And the first competition I actually went to watch everybody compete was IBJJF Nashville. And I literally was standing there cheering for everybody, getting goosebumps. And I was like, man, I want to do this. I'm finna do this. And then I went and competed in, I want to say it was Paducah, maybe?
I think it was.
It was Paducah. And Andrew went out with me. Michelin wanted to go, but he couldn't. He had work. And Michelin was one of the big ones that, was like, are you going to compete? You're going to compete? You're going to
Isn't
compete?
that the one that
And-
Andrew roped all of the women into competing, and the only one who had originally signed up to compete was her?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Is that
I
that
wasn't
one?
able to.
You came. No, you were there for
You
my
were
first
there.
competition.
Yeah, I
You
was,
competed.
yes.
She competed.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelin's
Speak
calling.
of the devil. Michelin, can you
Put him
hear
on
when
speaker.
we're talking
Put him on
about you,
speaker,
sir?
Like-
Now I'm
like,
uncomfy.
You got to put him on speaker.
Oh, okay.
We're like, wait.
Hold on.
We're
We're actually shooting the podcast, and literally they just.
We talking shit.
talking
Michelin.
shit. I started the podcast talking
His
shit
ears
about
were
Michelin.
burning. His ears were
Put you
burning.
on speaker real quick.
All right.
Aight.
What's up, Mishy Poo?
Michelin, say hello.
What's going on?
I want to just thank all my homies from back home.
Michelin thinks he's a celebrity.
Shout
Look,
out to my
when he said
homeboys.
Michelin say something, he fixed his collar like we see him. He's like,
Everybody talking about me. Let me get fresh.
He pulled the gold chain
Yeah, I
out.
was gonna say.
He changed his clothes.
He had to get fresh.
So you get a kind of a feel of how this podcast is going, huh, Mish?
Yeah, I see it.
So the one thing I will say, so you've heard this man's name dropped a lot. Prior to Professor Andrew getting here, who actually transformed our competition team. And Michelin would attest to this. Our competition team consisted of Michelin, Josh, Jace, myself, a guy named Kenry, and maybe 2 other people. So no matter how
six
big we
people.
were, it was normally 5 to 7 of us who were traveling, and we went pretty much everywhere, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
And we would go and get it done. And we were always trying to get more people to come and compete. And Andrew came, and like I said, he helped light that fire and grow more of the competition fire that we have here. So before, where there was 5 of us going to represent the school at IBJJF event, this year we're going to take probably 45 to 50 people.
Yeah.
All right? So that's the change in what we've been able to do. So I give Professor Andrew all kinds of credit for growing it, but I give Michelin credit for never letting it die. Even though there was only 4 to 5 of us, and you've heard all these ladies say, hey, it was Michelin. It was this guy to get me to go, and it was this guy that was pushing me to compete.
Yeah.
Like, between him and then, like I said, it was Josh, then it was Jace, and like he would get pissed and like nobody wants to compete. He's like, well, I'll compete, I'll go. And I'm like, just who I am. Like, if my students are going, I'm like, all right, get in the truck, we'll drive to Atlanta, we'll go fight.
We got a van now.
We'll get this. Yeah, we got a van now. We're moving on up. But
and kind of piggyback off that, I will say when Andrew, because I started when Andrew first started working here.
Yeah.
So I had Michelin in my ear, and then I had Professor Andrew just seeing me get better and better. Hey, when you gonna compete? When you gonna compete, Chloe?
Yeah, he's relentless.
When you gonna do it?
He's not giving.
You giving people hell out here. When are you gonna go compete? And I just was like, all right, they believe in me. Why not?
Yeah, that's
why
exactly,
not go try it?
That's exactly how it is.
That was
I cried my first competition. I cried because I lost. I cried because I won. I was a ball of nerves. But after that, I'm cool. I love competing.
I'm cool.
I wouldn't say you cool, but
Yeah, you're not cool.
yeah, all right.
Damn.
All right.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Oh, Mitch, anything you want to add to the viewers and the thousands of people that are listening to you right now?
This happened. We're growing. We're getting better. And I see all the students improving. I mean, Chloe just tapped me for the first time.
Oh! Tap.
Seeing how far she's come from when she first started is pretty great.
What'd she catch you with?
I forgot. Chloe, what'd you get me with?
You know what I got you with.
She's like, why'd you forget?
My memory immediately.
He said it's trauma, and it sounds like you pushed it away.
It's okay.
TBI.
That sounds like
Exactly.
That sounds like he gave you a courtesy tap.
No, he didn't. He tried to get out of it. I
What
put his
was it?
little head back.
What was it?
A console choke.
A Gonto choke.
Yes.
That's why he said he forgot.
Yeah.
That one's dirty.
I yeeted my leg. I felt somebody and stuffed the head.
All right. Hey, real quick. Are you on shift?
I am actually. I'm about to get to a fire alarm. They're trying to make reset.
Tell the people what you do and why Jiu-Jitsu is an asset in your field.
Well, I'm a police officer, and I believe Jiu-Jitsu is very important in my field because it helps officers not only defend themselves, but protect the public, the people that they deal with every day. It helps us not, with training, helps us not escalate the situation and bring items and tools that are unnecessary to deal with, for that situation.
He's such a sweetie.
That's what's up.
He's such a
Hey,
sweetie.
man, we
He's a
love you.
dork.
Thank you for calling in. Thank you for the information.
Nerd, love you.
All right, love you guys. Take care.
Bye.
Speak of the devil.
And he calls.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah, telling
Devil
you,
works
ears
hard,
were
but
burning.
Michelin
His
works
ears
harder,
were
y'all.
No, we love Michelin.
Facts.
We do.
He's
for
all right.
sure.
He's a pain in the butt.
He's
He's a pain in the butt,
right.
but he is a sweetheart.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
The hell is
So we are finna wrap this
triangles.
up. Ladies, this has been the most fun I've had on this podcast so far.
See, that's why you gotta have us on more.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Mike is not sure he'll
Women are
survive another
best.
one with the women.
Women
on
are the
mats.
best. All right, ladies. Say what you got to say and tell them good night. Start with you, Miss Maddie.
Say what I gotta say. I don't really have anything to say. We've been talking for an hour.
Well, there you go.
That's a long talk. I do have to go to the bathroom. I love everybody
Well,
that
thank you
listens.
for sharing that.
And I hope that you guys all come train with us.
There we go.
I just want to say this has been very pleasurable. and I enjoyed it. And
Everybody's eyebrows go up.
can y'all
Because
not-
I'm waiting for the bomb. I'm waiting for the. I'm waiting.
just get your butt out there and train. That's all I can say.
I had a lot of fun. It's not exactly one of my favorite moments talking about the past, but this group has given me that courage to talk about it at times. It's not the first time I've talked about it, but I think it's the first time where more people than the people in the gym will hear about it. So that's been nice.
Good job, Emilia. We love you.
Don't be afraid. But if you are afraid, come here afraid. Come here in fear, and come here to train.
Just come.
Hey,
Nice. Yeah, come train. It's so much more fun than people think it is. It's more than just sweaty guys all over the place. We have fun. We have a sense of community here. If you're, missing that sense of community in your life, try jiu-jitsu. Like, you will find a family, and that's what it is that our gym ends up being family. I care about everybody that comes through the door. I care about all the kiddos that come through our doors. Oh my gosh, all the kiddos. They're, God, so much.
Talk to you about my love
Yeah.
for children.
Yes.
Young
Yeah.
kids are loved.
Like,
Know that.
don't anybody mess with my kiddos.
Keep
Just
your hands on
saying.
your feet and your
Watch
belts
yourself.
to yourself.
Yeah, keep your hands and your feet and your belts to yourselves.
Even though they don't listen.
They hard-headed and they don't listen.
Yes. But, get your daughters in here young. Like James had touched on, my daughter trains jiu-jitsu. My son trains jiu-jitsu, and it's one thing, I am divorced and everything, but it's one thing her father and I agree on is that she needs to have some sort of self-defense, because you never know what happens in the world and who's going to come up to you, and especially being young girls these days. And, like you said, you had 2 kids from our own gym that were able to defend themselves, from being abducted. It hits close to home that way. It could be my daughter, it could be your daughter, it could be any of our kids. And so make sure that, they know how to defend themselves. And, if our gym's not for you, it's okay. There's plenty of great gyms out here, but, I would prefer you to come to us because, we're awesome. And like I said, we have a great sense of family here. But, I love the sense of family that we have here at the gym. Maddie and Andrew and Chloe and, all of our upper belts. We all care about each other. We spend probably way too much time with each other some days. We all up in each other's business, but it's definitely something that I enjoy, and the sense of community here is bar none.
thank you. Go ahead.
And then to piggy off Duvien's comment on family and community, for the single mothers out there that have young boys or young daughters, this is a great place for them to be. I am a single mother to a little boy. I do have my father and my brothers around, but what he gains from being here has been astronomical for him, especially from Coach James and Coach Andrew and the people that interact with him on a regular basis. I will be the first to say I am not a man. I will never be a man.
We noticed that.
I know.
Why you on the women's podcast?
She's like,
Throw that out there.
I don't identify as a man.
I do not. Never.
We're not going to talk about that.
So
We're
I've
not going to
been-
talk about that.
Sorry, don't cancel me.
So I've been
Cancel
greatly
Christmas.
appreciative for the masculine input that my son has been receiving here at the
Yeah,
gym.
that's true. Yeah, because I have a son as well, and
And Z is his best friend.
and Z, Coach Z. So Coach Z is his best friend.
Z is his best friend. He comes and hangs out.
Friend.
Yes.
So, all right, so we're going to wrap this up. Guys, you heard what the lady said. Young ladies, kids, guys, if you're looking for a place to train, there are a lot of great gyms in this area. I'm a little biased. I happen to think that we cover most of the bases and we do them very well. Not just that we provide an excellent staff for our Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we have an excellent staff with our Judo, with our wrestling, as well as with our strength and conditioning and our Muay Thai and boxing.
Ooh, yes.
All
Come
right.
see AJ.
We have a complete
He's awesome.
suite. We cover all the combat sports. We have excellent coaches. We have excellent staff. Come in and check us out. We give you 3 for free. All right, 3 for free. Come in and check out any of them or all of them. on my dime. All right, and it's good to go. The other thing I do want to tell you guys, I know we've been on here, we've laughed. Somebody cried a little bit. We messed it up. We had a lot of jokes, but very powerful things these ladies were talking about. Some topics that probably hit close to home. Another thing that I will say that happens in this place more often than not is listening. All right? There's a lot of powerful things that can happen. One of the most powerful things that I think we offer is you have someone somewhere that you can identify and talk with, right? They gave a stream of names. And I'm not just talking about the coaches. I'm talking about some of the people who just simply are in the gym. You will find a mentor. You will find a friend. You will find somebody here that you that you can relate to, that is willing to listen to you and willing to go with you. All right? So all those things I'm willing to share about what we had today. I actually had a very great time. Thank you guys for coming here and being on the panel.
You guys haven't had any time to talk.
And this is the other thing I will say. I've never seen Calvin out talked in one of our podcasts. So that was amazing.
We got it.
So it happened.
Yeah, it happened. I was
amazing.
I thought she was
You
gonna
had
go.
in the backseat, homie.
Me and Latoya talked the least.
They done threw the three loudest females in the gym.
Yeah.
The new loudest one, and Emilia.
Yeah, and
So it went down.
We took the back seat this one, homie.
All right, Golf Wave.
You're just great.
Golf Wave.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. We're out.
Princess Wave.
No.
All right, guys, have a great one.
I'm not a princess.
And we are
I beat ass.
mic drop.
Yes.
Ass kicking princesses.